Many of you may be happy to know I've been told nothing's grinding my gears this week. Something about cease and desist. Screw you, Seth MacFarlane. So instead what I've come up with is a top 9, you know, like 9 innings, baseball and all that, and it was kind of hard to find 10. But anyway, 9 storylines emerging in camp about halfway through the Cactus League schedule. And the first one is the 9th inning. I've got visual aids here to kind of help out. Pedro Strop is going to be the fill-in closer, whether Madden calls him that or not, for at least the first month of the season. And we know how well he did last year in that role, so you can probably count on that as being kind of a stable area for this club early on, and he looks good so far in camp. He says he's ready for that role again, which is great. And if there's anything we know about Pedro Strop, it's how reliable and consistent he's been. I mean, just look at the results. Since he came over in a trade last year, you'll see that 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I mean, the guy is just remarkably consistent year after year, and the results bear that out. So that's 9. Number 8 is Kris Bryant's shoulder. It's back in full swing again, and when we say that, we mean it literally. He's got no more pain. The power is back. He's got that uppercut swing going. Before he hurt the shoulder on that head-first slide May 1st last year, he was building an early foundation for another MVP run. But after that, the power was all gone. But this year, you know, power's back. He's hitting home runs. He's happy. He's strong. He's feeling good. So that would be a really big deal if that plays out like that. Number 7 is Brandon Morrow. I mean, just how long will the closer be out? He says he feels good. But the club is taking its time. You know, he's got that elbow. He had that elbow surgery in November, and he's taking his time rehab, and he's not going to be on a mound until the last week of spring training. Now, he says he's only going to be out the first month of the season, but this is a guy that's been on the DL a bunch in his career, so that really bears some watching. You know, it's a good thing they got Pedro Strop. It would have been probably nice if Tom Ricketts had a couple bucks in the wallet to give Theo to maybe help with that bullpen more than they did, but such as it is. Number 6 is Kyle Schwarber. Get a load of spring training's walk machine. Schwarber had a .356 on-base percentage last year because he led the team with 78 walks. But if the spring is any indication of the work he did in the offseason and the focus he's going to take into this year, that might only be beginning.
This guy's a first-ball fastball hitter. He's looking for heat.
He drew walks in his first 7 spring games he played and has 9 walks in 8 games so far, with the plate appearances about to ramp up. So that's definitely worth watching. Stay tuned. Number 5, check out Jose Quintana's Bugs Bunny changeup this spring.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
He's thrown it a lot so that he can have a 3rd reliable pitch to go with the fastball curveball repertoire, and it's looked really good. Just ask Bubba Starling here. Bubba swung through a strike 3 in the Cubs' win against the Royals this week. And if Quintana is successful in taking this into the season, it could go a long way toward him regaining the kind of form that earned him a 2016 All-Star selection. And that could make that changeup the impact pitch of the 2019 staff. So pay attention to that. Number 4 is really more about what's missing in camp this year. Where are all the zoo animals and the mimes? The Cubs seem to be so focused on Theo's year of reckoning that somebody forgot the magic tricks and DJs. Maybe it's that urgency thing after getting eliminated so fast. Maybe they're just outgrowing it. The worst part is that strength coach Tim Buss keeps threatening to fix it by showing up at a Speedo, which makes this a good time to move on to number 3. Small sample size, with all due respect to Bussy, but Carl Edwards Jr. hasn't walked a batter or hit a batter since showing up in camp with that little hitch move in his delivery that he borrowed from a video of Kenley Jansen, who borrowed it from Dodgers teammate Clayton Kershaw. Could this be the answer to the slumps with his command that Edwards has gone through each year? Another one to stay tuned on. By the way, there's that little hitch right there before he throws. He thinks that helps him with the strikes. Number 2. Now this has been the greatest. This is the weather. So it's heating up in March in the Phoenix area, and you know what that means. For me, it means I get a little sunburn right there. But those mid-80s temperatures we're starting to see are also a sign that the final stretch of spring training is close at hand, with final roster spots battles heating up and the daily lineup starting to look more like what we'll see when the season starts. And hey, that said, with all respect to the people back home and what they're dealing with, you know, we're not forgetting all of that. Stupid snow, ice. Definitely not trying to rub it in or anything. So, you know, kind of sorry about that. But we see you, Chicago. We see what you're dealing with. So anyway, the #1 storyline playing out in camp is obviously Yu Darvish. The newfound health, remarkable transformation. He's got swagger like we haven't seen. He's touching 97 with his fastball, breaking off nasty sliders and curveballs, and just the way he's walking around camp, the way he's talking and joking. He's talking to the English-speaking writers, the U.S. writers in English this year, which is something he didn't do last year. He's joking. He joked today that he wants to face his old Texas Rangers teammates, and he wants to hit a couple of them, specifically Gallo and Odor. Don't know what that's about, but he did. He seemed to be laughing. We'll find out in a few weeks. But check it out. This guy says he's smiling more than he has in 7 years since he started playing in the U.S. And now he still has a lot of skeptics. One team official from a rival team in the National League said, "Hey, it's only spring training. You know, just wait until the season starts. You know, we'll find out then." So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But you never know. You get it?